So how's the lockdown treating everybody? Any rides? Anita, I know you have been going out for short rides.
All right. So now, guys, we are now live. We'll just stay quiet for a while.
I just went for one and then I was like, it's not going to happen again sometime. Sure.
And is the breakfast on tomorrow?
Well, we're still discussing over it.
Okay.
I just realized tomorrow was Sunday, by the way, Annie.
All right, we are live right now, guys. We are live, so we will not. Yeah, we'll stay quiet for a while.
You will not go.
For a while.
Okay.
XPHP started the live.
Otherwise, why if you don't move for a second, it looks like it's a passport photo just placed there.
वही बात बता मैं
Okay. We are live.
Good job.
We are live.
Should I give more angles?
I just keep moving.
It is.
All right. So
Okay. So are we live?
we will be in 3, 2, 1. We are already live, but here goes the screen. So here we are.
Alright. So should I start?
Yes.
So thank you so much everyone for joining us, the 16 of you. And by the way, I'm the only one who is visible on the screen, so I'll start. So guys who are everyone who's watching online, welcome to the first of its kind flag off that we are doing of a virtual tour around India. I never thought that, I will be riding on the information super highway, pun intended, like this, because ever since 2006, we have done a lot of road trips, a lot of super bikes, starting in 2006 from the Great Indian Road Trip. But this is the first time that we cannot go on the roads because of the coronavirus pandemic. And we thought of this novel situation should be tackled in a novel way. And here we are starting out with this virtual tour from Delhi. And we have 16 August personalities with us right now. But we also have 11 more cities to go. But before that, let us play a small video and tell you how these 17 years of XPHP have been with all of you. Here we go.
In its 17th year, as XBHP steps into adulthood, we thank each and every biker who made XBHP their home or a pit stop in their biking journey. It started as a single website dedicated to a motorcycle, and slowly it became the place where all the people in India with love for motorcycling would come and share their feelings. Along the way, they made lifelong friends, memories, and emotions that would uplift them from their darkest moments. Such is the power of motorcycling. Any bike, anyone was always XBHP's mantra, and it gave a sense of belongingness to every biker. There were no misfits in XBHP. We accepted everyone and anyone who were on two wheels and wanted to evolve into a better rider together. The journey, which spans almost 2 decades, has seen us through a lot of trials and tribulations, and we wish to thank each and every one of you, no matter where you are or what you are doing. XPHP is many different things to many different people. It is a community, it is a website, and it is a place to derive inspiration from. And in 2010, we also launched our own lifestyle national print magazine. And while we were building a community, we also traveled around the world on some of the world's best superbikes and supercars too. And then in 2019, our own helmets. And this shows how much importance XPHP gives to safe riding. Ride safe, ride hard.
So, am I back on?
Yes.
Okay, so now let me quickly tell you the root of this virtual ride that we call XBHP Ek Saath Tour. Ek Saath also means, can be interpreted as 1717, and that is why, because we're celebrating 17 years of XBHP. Now, if you see on your screens, you will see that we started from Delhi and going clockwise. Our usual route, if you followed any of our India rides, and we will travel to 11 cities around India, including the northeast, the farther south in Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad. Even we are having representation from Raipur and center of India from Indore, and we are also having people from Mumbai, Pune. So every city that we do, there will be people representing from their particular cities, the motorcycling clubs, and so on and so forth. So let me now tell you who are those people from Delhi that are with us right now in this virtual meet. So if you can see on your screens now, let me start with our chief guest, Dr. Deepa Malik, Padma Shri, Khel Ratna, Arjuna Awardee, and President of the Paralympic Committee of India. It's a long list, so I've actually shorted it down. Pardon me if I've missed a lot of things, but we have a positive time. Next is Dr. Arun Thareja, the founder of Group of Delhi Superbikers, and he's been superbiking even before I knew the word superbiking. Then we have the father-son duo of Deepak Gupta and Karthik Gupta together, and they are one amazing couple. God bless them. We also have India's only 1000cc female racer, Niharika Yadav. She's a dentist as well. And then we have Shahnawaz Karim, who's also known as Wheels Guru. He's actually a certified trainer with BMW, and he actually can ride because I've ridden with him, so I know how well he rides. Then we have another gentleman who has actually changed the motorcycling culture of Delhi as we know it. He's the owner of Choi Shuttle. His name is Saurabh. He's also there with us. And then we also have Mohit Ahuja, who has actually infused motorcycling with a lot of goodness because he has got his club called Bikers for Good. Then we have Rishabh Pushish. He's hardly seen on his saddle of a motorcycle because he's known for breaking a lot of records on his Harley Davidson all around India. Mm-hmm. We also have Mandeep. Mandeep, she's a female motorcyclist, and she's also a core team member of Delhi Bike India and Vima India. Now, we also have Mr. Sunil Kullar. He's from Bajaj Avenger Club, Delhi. Anita Krishnan, she's the president of Vima India. Vima is Women International Motorcycle Association, and she also has a lot of feathers in her cap, but I won't talk about that right now. Puneet Mehta, he's an XBHPN since 17 years, and he has the distinction of getting a cake to our XBHP anniversary every year since 17 years almost. And then I have my very dear friend who was one of the 4 people that came on the first XBHP meet around 17 years ago. He's Bunny. And then we have, last but not the least, Sarang Ganeja, who's an avid tourer, and he also joins us. So there are 16 of us, and including me. I'm also known as Sunny as an photographer. So welcome all of you, and let us shift. Let's show everyone now on the screen. Cheers. Is everyone there?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Can we start by doing the X?
Oh, yes.
Right. So welcome everyone, and I think now, but let me not forget the hardworking people behind this, Anand and Ankita. I almost forgot them. I'm sorry, guys. So there are people.
That's okay. The backbone is always at the back, so not visible.
All right. So very important thing, so that we don't digress a lot. We are here to discuss on one specific topic, which is in front of your screens, and the topic is about how the history of motorcycling has been shaped in India, specifically in Delhi, because right now we're only talking about Delhiites here. So I would go immediately to Dr. Deepa Malik, and would ask you, ma'am, to tell us how you have seen Kamal's policy.
Not nice.
Okay. So I would like to ask you how you have seen motorcycling change, specifically in Delhi and all over India.
See, if I define motorcycling has always been an expression of, I wouldn't say a rebellious nature, but an expression of a woman chasing her passion and doing everything to live it, even if it includes breaking certain barriers. And if you ask me how I have seen changing it, I have really seen women over a period of time using motorcycle as a statement of their inner strength or the cause that they stand for. For me, it was almost reclaiming my life, a time when women were not, I mean, love marriages were not in fashion or not known. It was a time when I chose to get married just because I knew I had to be with a man who could give me a bike. So that's the change I have seen, that a bike can actually become a base of a marriage or base of any friendship that I have ever made in my life. So, and it can happen, you know. I have seen it in my entire life. Like I knew the first time I was on a bike, I was 14 years old. And I'm 50 now. So I can vouch for 46 years that I have seen it develop. And for me, biking has also become a statement where I tell people about abilities beyond disabilities. And I have seen that biking has become a huge medium of bringing forward like-minded people to stand up for a cause loud and clear. For me, that has been the journey of biking, and I have seen biking grow in that direction. I have seen clubs come together, even if they are hardcore riders and they do their own riding, but they definitely come together for a cause. And that's how I've seen many groups forming, brotherhood developing, and also going the negative way. I have seen many women riders come forward. And today, as I stand here, I mean, this is a very, very strange way of being invited as a chief guest. So, this association with XPHP is priceless because ever since many groups forming, brotherhood developing, and okay, I just heard myself say that. So there is a lag in the Facebook Live, so I'm sure you unmuted to check whether it's going right. So what I'm saying here is, I think today is a special day where, for once, I mean, not that it's a nice thing to happen, it's COVID-19 and we are all flagging off from indoors, which is something very, very strange and new to the world of riders and bikers, because outdoors is the DNA. But for once, I'm really emotional today. For once, all of you are experiencing what biking has been to me for last 21 years in chest below paralysis. The way you are indoors and celebrating the spirit of biking today, this is exactly how I had celebrated lying for 14 months lockdown, post my surgeries in Delhi RNR hospital. And I think the first time probably the biking was celebrated the way it is being celebrated today is in my heart, on my hospital bed, in my room, from there. And that feeling Buddy Punya had shared, he was one of the first persons whom I met in 2007, when for hours I sat in the lobby of KRP trying to convince them that I want a bike, and they said this woman has gone mad, whether she's really serious or not. But I think Bunny got to understand that I was serious at that point of time, and he wrote an article about how passionate this woman was, which took me to MTV Roadies, because Bike India magazine in Pune was very popular in Maharashtra. It attracted attention. That article took me to MTV Roadies. My bike was made, and thanks to that, I met the most wonderful platform for biking, the community called XPHP, where I was accepted with open arms. That's the growth of biking, where people can actually understand the spirit of biking, celebrate it, and also empower others to celebrate it. And that's exactly what we are doing right now, right here, from different cities, sitting in the indoors, and yet flagging off in our imaginations for an all India tour. Kudos for this thought. And once again, gratitude from this platform to each and everyone who has touched my life to help me continue the spirit of biking in me.
Oh, ma'am, so first of all, let me have worship. I mean, but what you said about doing motorcycling in your home, like through your mind, basically teleporting, is something which is actually very deep, and I just got to understand what you must be feeling for so many years. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for sharing this deep, intimate feeling, emotion with all of us. So now, I would like to, ma'am, move on to another veteran here of motorcycling, and he is Dr. Arun Tareja. It is his big bike. That is the first big bike that I saw ever in my life. It was a Blackbird. And I want to thank Bunny, who actually took me to his place, saying that, "Sunny, chalo dekhte hain, बहुत बड़ी मोटरसाइकिल है, XHP के लिए थोड़ा सा कंटेंट भी मिल जाएगा, फोटो खींचने को भी मिल जाएगी, अच्छे हैं, डॉक्टर हैं, कुछ कहेंगे नहीं, डांटेंगे." That I would like you to take the stage and let us know how you've seen motorcycling change in India for the better, and what kind of motorcycles were there before and the roads, and what is the situation now, and how do you think it should progress in the future?
First of all, Sari, heartiest congratulations to you and your entire XPHP team for this 17 years of glorious motorcycling everywhere where we have gone and done. So, heartiest congratulations. And I can easily say you have come a long way, baby. And that's true for you guys and plus the motorcycling culture in this country. Yeah, so when I started way back in 84, 85, and there was nothing except the Javas, Yezdis, and the Royal Enfields. And once in a while, we used to see a Dudwala on a Rajdoot also, that 175 stroke. That was known, famous for a Dudwala kind of a motorcycle with the cans on both the sides. So we had no performance machines, just the daily commuters, and there were hardcore fans, two groups. One used to swear by the Java and the other by the Bull. So that was always the tussle happening. So in the middle of that, suddenly a bomb came in India in 84, the RD350, the parallel two-stroke twin, and then everyone went bonkers, including me. I was one of the first ones to pick it up, which I still have in a lovely condition. So that's how the performance thing started in India. So it was way ahead of its time with all its complications, the money part also, the maintenance and the horrible fuel economy. But at least we got a taste of what performance and power is all about. And then, as you know, the Japanese invaded in the 100cc category. The In Suzuki was the first one. So I grew up in that atmosphere, but I was lucky to have the RD350. And somehow the same question started on every road, every signal about the average and what kind of a thing, as you all know.
Yeah.
So it was good fun, the center of attraction at that time. And thankfully, the roads were sparsely populated and we had great time commuting in the city itself. So I've seen those times and where there was no concept of any safety. There were no riding gears. Helmets were very rudimentary. There's hardly anybody making decent helmets. So that was the time, because obviously India was never a biking country like the UK and the Europe and US. So we started from zero. And that's why it's taken us such a lot of time where we are right now. So gradually then, personally, I kept on getting some grey imports from West Bengal mainly at that time. So I could feel or experience the power of a multi-cylinder four-strokes also. But overall, things started happening mainly in the commuting segment in the country. The Hero Honda invaded every home, I guess, with the fill it and shut it, forget it campaign about the economy. And that's how our country progressed. So then in 2008, the Yamaha company thought of opening up the doors to the high-end superbikes, and we got the good stuff coming in. Still, it was pretty nascent, and the rules are still very funny in this country. Anybody over 18 with a load of cash can pick up any superbike without any regard of safety and the riding experience. So I've seen all these things, and then, as you know, right now every manufacturer is here in India. So, and that's the good part. At least now the people have tons of choices. What kind of a bike they want, a simple high-end super bike to ADV to a cafe racer, everything is there. So now what is lacking is the concept, how to go about it in a very safe manner, the licensing process, for example, what UK follows, the age and the CC of the bike, that is still lacking, and that's the reason we have so many issues on the roads. So every day in the country, somebody is going down very badly, getting killed because of the lack of the proper Motor Vehicle Act rules. So I just hope that this also is taken care of in the coming future. So the good thing, apart from the availability, I have seen people now spending money on the safety aspect. They are buying safety gears, right from the helmet to gloves to jackets and boots, even if they are in the decent middle kind of a range. But that awareness I have seen in front of me, because we still have a long way to go. So that is the very nice part now. And the third aspect which I have seen, which has vastly improved, is the traveling or touring on motorcycles. That's the best phenomena, according to me. You just pick up the bike and just go without any destination. I'm sure you will find somebody, like-minded riders, the community who will welcome you with open arms. So that is a very drastic change as compared to the 80s and 90s where you were totally on your own. So that's basically a lovely kind of a progress this country's had, and I'm sure we are going to go on a better phase. And that's it regarding from my side. And I could never imagine when I started in '84 that one day in this country every manufacturer would be here, and we would be able to just go into the showroom and pick up the super bike of our liking. So that's the best part. And the little bit again, apart from the safety, we still have many riders who are not bothered about the others on the roads. That is another aspect that's improving, but still we have a long way to go. There is no respect, there is no sense. They are still doing stupid things on the highways and risking themselves and the others. So I sincerely hope they also change along with the entire world. So that's my view, and it's a great view. I'm very, very optimistic. The brotherhood, the new people you meet, the lifelong friends you make along the way, that is incomparable. So God bless motorcycling and you all riders in XPHP. Keep doing the fantastic work.
Thank you so much, sir. That was beautifully summarized. In fact, it couldn't be more difficult to summarize so many decades of experience in like 3-4 minutes. But you have done it, I think, very well. Now, let me shift the focus to Anita, for example. Anita, you are a female, you are a woman rider. You want to know, what do you think has changed or needs to change to make motorcycling more conducive for women in India?
I think there are a lot of machines that are being not necessarily made keeping women in mind as such, but I think women are getting a little more fearless about traveling on a motorcycle now. I think social media has a great importance to play in this, because there are more people coming out on social media, and for example, we represent a lot of women. While we are posting our tours and our travel stories on social media, there are a lot of people who follow it, and there are people who are getting more fearless as far as motorcycling is concerned. So I see a lot of women, like maybe from the age group of say 19 years old to about 50 years old. All of them are coming out, and I think they're doing some fearless motorcycling.
Right. So, Mandeep, I would like you to please carry forward this opinion, Anita's opinion, and let us know that what actually needs to change, and anything else that you want us, especially the young women who might be watching right now, about motorcycling and taking up motorcycling in India.
But yeah, I see no reason why women shouldn't be motorcycling. As a matter of fact, I started motorcycling very late in life. I started just 4 years ago, and at 45, people were convinced, especially my family, that it was midlife crisis. So there's no reason women shouldn't be riding. And and Annie's right. Luckily for me, Annie was a very big deal about how far I have taken my motorcycle.
It is. I think we're lucky that we have a tribe, especially within the women who really support each other and watch out for each other. But I think the only thing I think women really need to figure out still is gear. Like I don't go grocery shopping, man. If I'm fully geared up, I'll be buying my tomato aloo, but I've got my helmet and my jacket and everything on. So I think safety within the women is still a challenge. I can't figure out how to promote it. When I was training, which was good fun when I had the academy, even then I was very, very specific that safety first. But I think the challenge of just getting women into gear, and now luckily we actually have gear that's for women now. The other challenge used to be that hota hi nahi tha. We didn't have motorcycling gear. We were all wearing men's pants, and I still own men's pants. I haven't changed up to women, but now there is no reason not to be geared up and get it up.
Right. So now, thank you so much for the insight. Now I would like to take it up with the Don, who's looking like a Don because of the dimly lit environment. Saurabh, who is in Throttle Shuttle TMSC. You're mute. You have to unmute yourself, Saurabh. All right. So my question to you, Saurabh, is that because you see so many motorcyclists coming in your cafe, day and night, like hundreds of them, thousands of them, especially on Sunday and Saturdays, have you noticed any difference in, let's say, when you started maybe 3-4 years ago, and what is happening now? And where do you think is the community and the culture heading to, especially in Delhi?
So we started like 7 years back. It's in 2014. So when we started, we were a small cafe there, and we were getting 30-40 bikers at our doorstep. But seeing those bikers, there were other groups like the smaller guys who were coming there without the helmet. They got to know and understand about the safety from the elder riders. So if you see that 7 years change, that now if people buy a bike, they first come to Throttle and ask about which gear to buy. There are other people sitting there around. They discuss about their gears, and I can see that from that time to this time, I see everybody in a gear, and people know about safety and how to take care of their bikes. So there is a massive change, and if as a community, we at Throttle always promote safe riding, and so anybody coming there without a helmet, so he is always feeling that that awkward condition in himself that you have to have a safety gear. So that also promotes safety in the bikers.
Right.
Can I say something here? I'm sorry, being a chief guest, let me take some liberty here. I have to thank Throttle Shuttle for creating a space for bikers to hang out, and it's almost like you're saying growth of biking, and especially in Delhi. पहले ये पूछा जाता था ले लद्दाख हो आए हो जैसे कोई बाइक खरीदता था अब दिल्ली में ये पूछा जाता है कि बाइक खरीद ली Throttle Shuttle हो आए हो so that's the jumpstart point nowadays in Delhi of any biker or biker's life. बाइक खरीद ली है तो Throttle Shuttle गया है कि नहीं and Throttle Shuttle जाने के बाद जो interaction and जो learning उसको मिलती है and I'm really using this platform to convey my heartfelt gratitude to Throttle Shuttle for not just keeping my bike, which was created in 2007, on which I created my Limca record, is now, I thought it had served its purpose and it should remain with the bikers. So it's displayed there. It's not just displayed there. The last time I went there, I was told that it actually started and it did the vroom and they took a chakkar on it. So thank you for restoring it, guys. I'm going to come back soon to ride it again.
Well, that is wonderful. Saurabh, this is amazing. You've got like an amazing.
We have everybody on who are there. Would love to see you guys back to cafe. We have been open for last 1 month. We're taking all the precautions which are needed. Going pretty low because of the COVID times. We can't be entertaining like old Sunday days, like 100 bikers at a time. But we're taking all precautions to make sure that because we have a bigger place, so and we are taking every precautions to make sure that people are sitting with safety and our staff is also maintaining all the precautions.
And Saurav has made sure there are no cops now. Right?
No, that's not me. That's not me.
Right. So,
But guys, we have to be like really, precautious about all this. A small incident happening somewhere is affecting the overall community.
Yes, there's the problem.
So we have to avoid these kind of misbehavior, or I would say reckless driving on a road. We have to ride with precautions, and we as a brotherhood, it's just a small incident creating a big issue. It has been 3 weeks now. For the last 2 weeks, we have been having a word with the cops, and there was a big checking happening everywhere, and anybody wearing a gear was treated like he's racing. So to convince the cops that these are safety gears, not for racing. Anybody wearing a safety gear on a road is not racing. So that's a message which we have to travel to every person who is riding, that we should respect the other people also on the road, and also carry our papers and documents pretty right. Because we cannot talk to the cop that we don't have a paper and let me go. So that's why people were fined and stuff. But now things are pretty okay on GFR, and I hope things continue like that.
well, so that was a very important insight, because this is happening in a lot of places around India where cops are thinking that people who are riding gear are actually racing, which is not the case. But let me now quickly shift the discussion to actual long distance riding. And in that scenario, I would say the name of Mr. Deepak Gupta, who is with his son Karthik Gupta. Sir, welcome. Please introduce a little bit about the biggest ride of your life that you did, I think, last year or a couple of years ago. And then I would like your son to play a very short song for us.
Thanks, me. First of all, congratulations to XPHP on completion of 17 years of existence and many more years to come. Guys, this is Deepak Gupta, and the ride which Sunny is talking about happened in 2018. So that was the ride. 15 countries, 15,000 plus kilometers in 5 months duration, and 2 continents. So we started on 24th of July and ended on 22nd of December. That was the guy.
There's somebody keeping hand on your mic, if I can interrupt, because it's it.
Can you hear now clearly?
Yeah.
So we deliberately took an Indian-made machine, which was Bajaj Dominar, to show that we Indians can do such long journeys on an Indian-made machine, and we don't need big bikes only to cover long distances and off-roading tracks as well. So, in which we were successful, and we completed the ride with absolutely no problem and no mishap. And we were 3 riders in total, and we completed the ride with fine colors. The bikes performed perfectly all right, and this is it.
Right. So, sir, we are really honored that we have you here, and people should also know that you started such long distance motorcycling at such an age.
I would briefly let you know that motorcycles were the vehicle for freedom. They are the vehicles for freedom, and they would remain the vehicle for freedom to a motorcyclist. So I'm talking about 1980, 40 years back. Motorcycles were there. They are here, and they will remain here. There was a short span, if everybody of my age remember, 4 to 6 years, when scooters overtook motorcycles, and people were happy riding scooters. So that was a short span. Other than that, motorcycles were there, motorcycles are here, and motorcycles would remain. and motorcycling has grown a lot in my 40 years of motorcycling. There used to be some 100cc, 50cc, even more big, but now the CCs have changed, the brands have changed. Now we are exposed to all these brands which are available in the world, as rightly said by Dr. Arun Vela. So the guys who are born in 2000 plus, they are really lucky to be exposed to all the kind of technologies available in the world.
Right. So, sir, can we have Karthik play some please?
Very can. Good evening, all of you, and to the viewer. And am I audible?
Now it's better.
Yeah, now it is better.
Hello, sir. Hi, Arun, sir.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't get time to introduce myself and greet everyone personally. But okay. So I'm Karthik Gupta for the viewer, and I'm a struggler, I'm a rider, I'm a struggling musician, and okay, I won't take much of your time, and directly come on the business. And so the song that I'm going to sing is every rider can listen to the song. It's a retro song, 90s Bollywood song. And so it
Amazing. Thank you so much, Karthik, but we are not done with you. We want a partnership later on as well.
lot of content.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now I would like to shift immediately to Niharika. Niharika, hi. So Niharika, what's your take on racing in India, especially women in racing, and what is the role of a circuit in a city like Delhi to change how the motorcycle community interacts with each other?
Sunny, when I started off in 2014, I didn't see any women in terms of even spectators, because I was the only female on track, and there were the men, of course, not just racing but also visiting good circuit. So, because I've always seen that, especially with racing being a male-dominated arena, women would never really come there to, even with an interest to watch us be riding on the track or any of that. So I really feel like that has changed to quite a large extent. We have more women coming on board as spectators, not just for the race, but even for for track days. And I have a lot of women who are who message me on Instagram as well, asking me for guidance, because a lot of women are showing interest in coming into racing. So I think that's one aspect that has really changed, to quite a large extent. And in terms of motorcycling in 2014, I was wearing borrowed leathers and a large size helmet, because of course for women nothing was available. Even small size helmets, as were extremely difficult to find. But today I see that changing. People in India also, we're getting women's leathers imported, and so there is an availability of safety gear for racing as well. So yes, so that way the sport has changed. And in terms of the role of track, I would say platforms like the JK Tyre Racing Championship. Those are the platforms where I would say thousands of people actually pick up inspiration, not just for racing, but also for biking as joining the community. And I always say that, in terms of bikes, it's not about which bike you ride or what CC you ride. If you own a bike, and not just own a bike, but if you follow all safety protocols and, you wear your safety gear, then you are a biker. And so these platforms have definitely brought a major change by bringing the bikers and the bikes on display. And also seeing us all in proper safety gear, with proper, not just jackets or, not just your riding boots or helmets, but of course looking at you in proper leathers, zipped up, all packed. So I think that's what people need to understand, that biking is not just about riding a bike, it is also about safety, as Dr. Ansareja also said. So that's a brilliant platform which showcases that aspect as well.
Right, Niharika, thank you so much for the insight, and I really wish that the championship really starts happening again. This year or not, but I hope you win, and that's what all is wants. But let me actually now shift to Mr. Sunil. Mr. Sunil, you are in the Bajaj Adventure Club, and that motorcycle has become an icon. It's a very small motorcycle in a lot of people's eyes, but the importance of that motorcycle cannot be said. I mean, only you would probably say it better because you have been riding it a lot. And in fact, one of the core team members that we have here, Ankita, she also used to ride an adventure before she graduated to a Ducati Monster. So, sir, over to you.
All right. Good evening, my biker riders. And good evening to the command to grace this occasion. I go a little beyond, I take you to years before I come to Bajaj Adventure. Like everybody, everyone learned riding bike by first learning how to ride a bicycle. Maybe your father's bicycle or maybe your own bicycle, and that's how you graduated yourself to motorcycles. So that was a learning process itself. Going on smaller roads first, taking by lanes to learn how to ride a bicycle, and then later on to the motorcycles. So riding, I would say, was a passion then. I'm talking about way back, 45 years back, when I started riding. And so riding was a passion then. And riding is a passion now also. But there's a difference. Biking was used at that time, I'm talking about 74, 75, for commuting. And basically for commuting, and riding for pleasure was the secondary one which came. The bikes during those times were like wild tigers. Today's bikes, I would call them as tame tigers because you can control them. Earlier bikes were just raw power. There's so much of gadgetry or electronics now attached to the bike that you can control it so well. During those days, that you only used to be the accelerator or your clutch and the gear. That's it. And you go about it. Royal Enfield, ESC, Rajdoot were the only motorcycles you could see on the road with occasional BSA or Tramp from, you see them, those old bikes. I go a little beyond even, let's say in early 60s or late 50s. After World War II, when Americans left India, they left behind their Harley Davidsons. Those Harleys were later converted or modified into Katpatiyas, which used to commute between Connaught Place and Red Fort. And, those are gone now. I don't know whether any of you have heard about it or have ever seen about those motorcycles.
I started it.
Yeah, so those were really great, powerful bikes. So those were the days when we had these so-called raw power bikes with us. The machines were simple. Now it is very complex, with all kinds of electronic gadgetry attached to it and controlled by different parameters. I used to ride a USD 250. That's how I started riding. When I started riding, I bought that bike. The Ideal Java USD 250. 250 plus it came, of course, later. And of course, like Dr. Samet told, Rajdoot, of course, brought RD 350 with twin cylinder and twin exhaust. Java was the only, USD was the only bike in India with a two-stroke engine, twin exhaust. And if you take out the mufflers, believe me, if people have seen those bikes at that time, it used to be a rage at that time. And it used to make lovely sound. It used to breathe, which I don't see nowadays in these bikes. So there were some very unique features of USD, like with the single kick, single lever. The same lever used to be used as kick and gear changer. I don't know many of you know about it or not. We had common wheels, which means you can interchange your front and rear wheel, which is unheard now. You can't do that because the spokes of those bikes were the same. So you could interchange your wheels. And it was simple. At that time, the balance was really good of those bikes. Ideal Java, you could take a turn on a roundabout, inclining your bike at 45 or 50 degrees without even slowing down. It used to have such a wonderful balance of this thing. Yeah, of course, during those times, there were no clubs, there were no groups, but riding was still there. Group riding was there, but mixed bikes used to go, like something like in my experience was from Delhi University to Palam Airport, nighttime riding. That used to be so-called what you see the riding today. So it used to be that. No long rides, of course. Going from Delhi to Soripat, if you call a log ride, of course, that was the log ride. Basically, it lacked because it was lacking the infrastructure. There were no repair shops, no food shops, no hotels where you could go and stay. So those were the days. The things have changed now. It is much better, much better. But yes, there was pleasure in riding then. There's a pleasure in riding now. As of today, once I thought of taking another bike, so Bajaj Avenger. I did a lot of scouting. I wanted to have a cruise bike, and I thought Bajaj Avenger. It's not a very fast machine, but when you're riding, I'm not a preacher for fast riding, the speed riding. Because when you do the speed riding, you have a tunnel effect. You don't see anything around you. You just focus yourself in front, and it's a tunnel vision. What you get. So I go. My mantra is 470.
There is one problem. There is some technical issue. It is not getting broadcasted ever since you started speaking for some reason. Can we rejoin again? Like right now, Manan is going to share the link right now. We have to start another live. So we will finish in 20 minutes.
Okay.
Very sorry about that. So all of us, please, Manan is going to share another link right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.